Всем здорово, и мы снова здесь. Давно я сюда не заходил, и произошли маленькие изменения. Я решил все-таки сыграть за ассасина, ну, искусство убийства, короче, а не через мага играть. Как-то так. Слегка передумал. Не.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a...
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned... Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the...
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the wave...
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces... What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual...
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince. The All-Conqueror. The world... Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose...
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall... Then by all means...
He watches you depart.
Ну, нет, что-то не хочу его брать. Я же решил, кого буду брать, так что не. Его тоже можно взять. 4 персонажей можно взять с собой. Я эту локацию более-менее помню. Ну, точнее, форт радости. А вот дальше что-то смутно. Насколько я помню, мне нужен цветок для квеста какой-то. И грёбаная лопата. А, кстати, киска.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What? How did I get... Hey, what? No, that can't be. I can't... Hey, stop. Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I just...
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus.
Этот, кстати, кошак. Надо как-то, когда мы будем сбегать с форта радости, сделать так, чтобы он не сдох. Потому что некоторые стражи его атакуют, и он может в полубитвы сдохнуть. Ну, это типа питомец. Насколько я помню, что-то его прокляли, и он теперь стал кошаком. Так-то так. А вот как его засейвить-то? Насколько я помню, можно его обложить коробками. Но это не точно. Он типа телепортироваться не умеет к тебе. То есть все персонажи могут к тебе телепортнуться? Ну как могут? То есть они забираются по лестницам и так далее. А он не может.
The cat's eye.
Где-то здесь можно было вскопнуть.
I've spotted something.
А вот, кстати, да. А, вот он, да, это цветочек, кстати. Типа надо какому-то зомбаку отдать. И он якобы свою дочку вспомнит или что? Так, ладно, не будем терять времени. Пойдем завербуем Фейна. Сейчас мы этого, блядь, кота обложим.
I wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton...
Damnation. That's stuck fast. I wonder... Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip.
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Why, its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me! And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not... Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Simply put, I am an Eternal, and you are not. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was... I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice.
Подъебал.
We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great... But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was several centuries, in fact, or perhaps millennia. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are Every one of your races resembles them in some manner. And the statues you have... Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm. Or perhaps your gods are... Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them. Wherever they are. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in... Well, of course the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise?
Тут можно выбрать, кем он будет из класса. Типа волшебник. Либо вор. Либо мистик. Ну, я
Someone with a little muscle.
хочу сделать его бойцом.
Really? I am adept as any in the fine art of hitting people with sticks. But what exactly? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get up? Splendid. Very well.
Дадим. Нахер не надо. Он, кстати, хилится ядом. То есть не обычным хилки, а ядом. Этот сундук мы сможем достать только либо телекинезом, либо телепортом, который у нас в данный момент пока нету. Ну, как можно было вначале, наверное, телекинез качнуть. Ну, такое. Так, что там у него? Щит и нож на палке. Кстати, нельзя снимать этот капюшон ему, либо все сагрятся в него. Так что вот. Тут главное не зафакапить.
I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Atusa, please.
Your Godwoken has asked you a question. Answer him.
Need I repeat myself?
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
Но она знает. Сейчас полутаем по-быстрому.
I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever
Oi.
again. Never. Hey,
Самое-
mister. It's a lot nicer here than that. I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tune.
Прям у меня из рук пушку забрали.
Ooh, that's a pretty one.
проверить. Я типа качнул восприятие. Это влияет на обнаружение некоторых секретов. Ну, как секретов, спрятанных тайников там. Еще какой-нибудь херни.
We already know the
I am a proud loyal to you.
Ну-ка, мы сможем ее кошелька нашего здесь спрятать.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day. He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
She's gone, Father. Gone.
Ну давай, сходи туда. Блять. ГГ.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey.
Минус 20 отношений.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak.
I am a proud loyal to the order. I
Ладно,
would not
хуй
dream
с
of
ним.
subverting our cause.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, Dallas,
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally,
Ладненько. Захаваем.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close. They were just there.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. That Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas. I'd better get to it, then. A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be...
Saw him, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that mist quite the scene. The bishop himself with his right hand laid down burst into quite the bloody mess, she did. Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earn that name for a when you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mind. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through. Can't for certain, but I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste. So that's what we do. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to...
Нам сразу квест возьмем.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will... Oh, bless you, bless you. She's been missing for... Irma's her name. She's about as high as your hip. Black of hair. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in the... I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll, but this place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her.
She soaks up a steady stream of...
She ought to come with you then. She ought... You are an angel.
A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cooker, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers, killed by a Voidwoken she was. And there ain't no amount of hot...
Вот так вот. Так что мы ее не найдем.
That's your fifth blue chest of this round. She's gone, Farah. Gone.
С этими типами можно закуситься будет потом. Но это будет потом.
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of... Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a...
Вот этому миг, кстати, надо будет травку дать.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called... You may feel like an inmate here, but you and your captors are the same stuff, in race and customs, if not heart.
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality. You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? It's just... I've a proposition. Something very... In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too... I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a part. Are you interested? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. Not enough to trouble a fine specimen such as yourself. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go.
Да, кстати, вот эта херня. Перчатки с навыком телепорта.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like the...
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you. Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, you, and everyone else in camp. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined...
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth a sweat of my...
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Сейчас завербуем еще Лоус.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a...
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. You. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? I saw you fall. We all did. Thought you, when we get out of this place, I owe you a pint. So you managed to swim to safety, is that it? What about when you were in the water? Didn't hear anything unusual, did you? I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours. Dark pupils dilated into great black void. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just, I'm just a bit, well, a bit hospitable. Ha! What I mean is, look, you've never been a host, right? That's because you're like a clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything
Короче, она
to be
одержима
like you.
каким-то демонюгой. Поэтому у него мейн-квест будет сгнать этого демонюгу, насколько я помню.
But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door, beckoning like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied.
She gives you a searching look.
You seem pretty well adjusted. Ain't that just the truth? So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case, they might actually be right, though. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if... when push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to stay...
Bow your head, please! If we chant the endless prayer, the next divine will ascend. Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the divine's own son, is God-woken. He will... Do not doubt that he will come into his powers at any moment. And...
Но Ифана мы брать не будем.
I saw what you did there, convincing Burrow not to lay the law down on that elf. Why do you want to help one of them? Then you're in the wrong place.
Bloody cavies. Too big for their boots, as usual. They ought to keep out of our hair, you know. Elves, dwarfs, lizards, undesirables. Those are...
Засеемся.
Biffan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got...
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use some... I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar.
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine.
The little black cat trailing you hisses at him, hair raising a ridge along its back. Without batting an eyelid, the man rumbles a lupine growl. The cat hides behind your leg, mewling.
That's the truth. For me, for you, for everyone in the... Why not help each other get out of here?
He gazes around admiringly at the decrepit surroundings in which you find...
Funny boy. Stick around a while. That'll change. 2 heads are better than 1. And when push comes to shove, 4 fists. No harm having a friend in this place. 1 hand washes the other and all that. Trust me, there'll be plenty of filth to wash off around here. But suit yourself. Like I said, suit yourself. If you change your mind...
Tick, 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 tick.
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and...
If it would be acceptable, I have an inquiry for this human. And if it would not be acceptable, well, that would render this entire...
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear much, but he seems to be gesturing. Fane's words are quiet, but you hear the blacksmith repeat, "Face ripper," in shock.
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told him to slither back to his dungeon, and you can get too, freak!
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He is lost in thought, though. Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal
And what you after? I ain't. Just seeing how it's made. She's clever, Dallas. Made these herself, for those bodyguards of hers.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something? Found it in the scrap heap not so long ago. We used to know each other back in the day, you know. Never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in the day, but once she joined the Order, she started turning out all manner of oddities.
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions? For you? Hell no. Worthy is exactly the right word. You know, someone who's proven himself might earn my time of day.
Ну, кстати, можешь снять этот ошейник. Насколько я помню, надо на арене выиграть. И тогда она зауважает и снимет. Пожалуй, оставим. Она, кстати, заклинание придает на призывание. Но мы ее потом гребанем. Что вот так вот. Пожалуй, мы потом загуглим, может, нам рецепт нужен. Кстати, а давай-ка спиздим. Все равно по пути.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and
And what you after?
Мы типа отвлекаем ее. Ну съеби, мужик. Так-то отбегаем. На всякий случай. Ой, как же так, ограбление. Кто посмел украсть? Ебать, металлолом, кстати, неплохо стоит. Бля, может все у него спиздить. Так. А, ну металлолом мы не сможем продать. Типа краденый. Кстати, гвозди. Какие план Б? Сколько я помню, гвозди, молоток это для
amidst a
отмычки.
crowd of screws, bolts.
And what you after?
Скамим, скамим. Блять. Метлу ничего не задел. Захапали гвоздики. Да, это мычки. Кайф. А ебать, это мычек получилось. Я думал, по одной будет. Кстати, эти стражники убивают киску. Пойдемте проверим наше восприятие. Да, походу она не работает. А, прочесть тоже воровство. Блять.
So this is Fort Joy.
А вот и бандюган Гриф. Он квест потом выдаст на вот этого желохвоста, чтобы освободить Амира. Но мы потом с ним закусимся, чтобы экспу с него получить.
Heading into the kitchen? Don't try anything funny around, Griff.
Мне надо вроде как, по-моему, подкатить, чтобы она была за нас потом в драке с Грифом.
Ha! Cheeky. What's your name? All right, Slick. Haven't seen you around here before. When did you get in? All right, easy now. You seem sweet, but I'm more curious about you than a bunch of cheesy lines. Ha! Thank you. Long enough, I reckon. I'm surprised they haven't come for me yet. Most folks get taken away for the cure after just a week or two. By the divine, haven't I? Back home again. But those are just dreams. No one can escape from here.
She laughs. The sound fills the air like the ringing of a bell.
Now, wouldn't that be something? Look, I have an idea. I know we don't know each other very well, but time is so short and a connection is so rare. If we get out of here, will you meet me again in Arcs? I have responsibilities here. I can't start running around outside the family. It isn't done. But once we're out of here, none of that will matter.
She leans forward and grazes your cheek with her lips.
Until then, need something in the kitchen, do you?
She smiles and gives you a long...
Soon! I know what you mean. I can't... Wait! Need something in the kitchen, do you?
Торговец.
Hey, you're a little light in your pack, eh? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Stuff you won't find anywhere else in camp. Procured by special means.
Такие лучшие варианты не выбирать или на лавочку прикроют.
Only the finest, you know.
Кстати, вот она на меня продает навыки.
Need something in the kitchen, do you?
Хлороформа достать. Ну, либо мы ей пизды дадим. Она, по-моему, за Гриф вступится. Либо обкрадем ее и потом пизды дадим.
Need something in the kitchen, do you?
Что часть товаров у нее потеряется. Если ее убить.
A delivery. Surely you have one. Please. Scram, snake face.
А он, по-моему, Грифа ворует. Кстати.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a map? You'll find out.
А, не-не-не, блять.
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Мы типа экспо получили, но я не уверен, получают ли все компаньоны. Сейчас как раз таки проверим, еще одного персонажа завербуем. Так.
Leave me. Go.
She smiles and reaches out as if to touch your arm.
Sorry. I almost forget sometimes. I can't... can't wait to see.
Leave me. Go.
Она продает некромантию навыки. Но мы не некромант. Мы хотим спиздить. Поэтому так-то... Опа!
Leave me.
Отвлекаем. Так, где мне что-то лежит? Вот. Упаем. Текаем. Штанишки выкидываем. Короче, скамим людишек. Вор на свободе. О, нет. Да, я могу идти. Халява. Надо завербовать. Не понял. А где Сибила? Напади. Резать пошла этого... А, вон она, да. Этого ящера хочет резать.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features. Regal, and she was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away. And you get the distinct feeling no sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a...
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time I'll let my needle do the licking. Not so very far from home, I'm sure. This is the turf...
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needles, despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, this living... But now I'm free. Of sorts. And I've traced that lizard. I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in...
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I would make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided deers around here would argue such a thing as... Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push? You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles.
Let's discuss our respective roles. You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, it suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity.
Чё-то. Завербовали. Продадим. Это мы выкидываем. Так, а теперь дадим ей похавать.
As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel his consciousness enter yours. His memories are yours to... Your heart is heavy. You know too much. It's all too much. You met him. A bright light blinds you, then fades. You feel a tremendous power in your hands, but they are shaking so hard you can barely use them. Suddenly you're on this very ship, crouched in a corner, hugging your knees. A figure approaches, an older woman. She reaches a hand toward you. You grab... The memories end. You are no longer Finn. You return to yourself.
Она, короче, если поедает чью-то плоть, ну, точнее, все эльфы, по-моему, могут воспоминания читать.
A single name throbs across your brain. Verdas, Verdas, Verdas. He...
Так что name. Пойдемте еще одну фигнюшку спиздим.
Greet's better off, I'm sure.
Keep my name out your mouth, Outbound.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods. The smell, though.
I want to give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours.
Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Piss off. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my...
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer.
She never did like you.
Оба. Порезали лоха. А мы полутаем его.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul, the love of my life. Gret. She passed in the night.
He tenderly runs a hand along the...
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment.
Okay.
I'll be with you soon, love.
Вот он, по-моему, продает мне то, что нужно. Ой, не мне. Ну, короче, продает то, что мне пригодится.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
What? Oh, new, are you? Very good, very good. Make yourself advise. Hold on to yourself, my friend. The fort is full of decent folks turned savage by confinement. Do not let it happen to you. My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from... I fear it will be quite some time before we find any answers at all, my friend. Though, it doesn't hurt to ponder.
Хотя, может его сейчас грабануть. Давайте попробуем сейчас его грабануть.
The lizard's brow knits together.
Tactica. На всякий случай засеемся. Иначе он, блядь, стражу позовет. Че этот гном уйдет отсюда? Забираем вот это. Вот это. Ну, в принципе, мы, наверное, все заберем. Все, что можем. Так, что мы забрали? Идет лютый скам. Все равно не обыщет. Ой, как же так обокрали, да? Ой-ой-ой. Пиздата. Хапаем, хапаем. Так, нитка. Не знаю, нужна ли нитка в крафте. Блять. Похер, ставим там. Так, и важно, что я хотел. Чтобы вот это изучила. Спортские навыки. А это мы продадим, наверное. А, вы уже владеете. Окей. По-моему, краденое мы не сможем продать. Так, кстати, навыки мы тут вот так вот распределим. Не знаю, нужен ли нам дождь. По идее, он дождь ревелит ненавистников. Да и пламя тушит. Типа можно намочить, а потом заморозить холодом, либо разрядом пиздануть. Не оглушить. А град он дохуя стоит, речка, по-моему, действие. Так что не. Такое себе. Где-то здесь еще какая-то херня была, которую можно было... А, вот шлем, да, ебать. Он сейчас должен быкануть. Ну давай. Типа вор. Украли. Как же так, вор? Вот твой шлем, кстати. Да и правильно, кому он, блядь, нужен твой шлем? Давай глянем здесь. Кот все еще живой. Ебать, реально живой еще. Это рецептик. Тя, он 5 голды стоит. Кстати, пусть она похилит его. Заебись. К ним мы потом сходим.
Will source change back? What if there are no sources?
Там, кстати, крокодилы. Мы сейчас по порядку все исследуем.
Coloured like a dog. A very pink, very long dog. I'd pity you, but Shatra the Ineffable has no patience for weakness. Laughing in the faces of my enemies, of course. Little do they know, the most powerful sorcerer the world has ever known scuttles on their very shores. But of course, they'll happily dump your maggot-ridden corpse into the sea when they're through with you. Sorcerers dance while magisters pull the strings. Fools all! Their tomfoolery won't save them from the destruction the void shall wreak of this power is my birthright, same as yours. But one of us has grown to astounding heights, and the other has sunk into depths too humiliating to describe. Pity. Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worse, the cure or the disease?
Так, кстати, экспа одинаково. Вон снизу. Что, поговорим с ним? Просто более-менее, чтобы понимать.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship.
Eh? Oh, that. Won't be my first or last roll on a Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is reward. Now, if you'll excuse me.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs.
Bleeding nail must be. Go on then, give it a go.
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I. Look.
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun.
For your trouble. No, but I'd hoped to build something with it that would be worth 1,000. Yeah, it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though...
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment.
После форта.
Maybe you don't.
He stands before you and pokes you in the side, seizes your shoulder.
There's something of you, you know? You don't have to accept your fate on this bloody island. You can leave here. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. Happy to trundle around with a group of amateurs at your heels. Your funeral, lad. I'll be here when you change your mind.
Он, кстати, спутником может быть.
I'm waiting for someone.
And it ain't you. Sod
Что
off.
у тебя есть? Зелье невидимости, ебать. Солидно. Подожди. Оба.
I'm meeting someone here.
Он, по-моему, Красного Принца ищет. Типа, если к нему подойти, когда играешь за Красного Принца, либо с тобой Красный Принц, то он атакует или чё. Ну, короче, по сюжету его связан. Так. Мы захапаем. Да ебать, да мы все у него спиздим. Может с ним закуситься. Окей, давайте засеемся. Закусимся, короче, с ним. Обокрали. Где-нибудь вот здесь им. Да, давай, иди сюда. Блять! Он стражника побежит ябедничать. Блять. С стражником пока не готовы драться. Блин, я думал, он будет драться.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves. She
Она вроде
seems
даст
totally at peace,
халявную.
but as you approach,
Халявный
she
свиток
turns to
там.
you with a cheer.
Haven't seen you around here before. New? Well, don't worry too much if you have a hard time. You here alone?
She gives you a long.
You keep them friends of yours close, eh? Not much in this world someone you love can't make better. Used to be I had a family. A husband and a little boy. Then they brought us here. I couldn't stop them from taking my boys from me when they did. Reckon they were cured. Maybe even released. Now I'm just waiting for them to call my name. Waiting and remembering.
Her eyes sparkle.
Kind of you to ask. Stefan, he was my little one. Smart as a whip and no less wicked. And my husband,
She talks for some time about birthdays, about Felix's prickly beard. Joy radiates from her as she remembers.
What a gift to think of them. I'd like to give something to you too. A family recipe. One of Felix. Take care of yourself. You hear? You won't regret keeping those friends of yours at your right hand. Trust me.
Спиздить бы у него свитки с решением. Не в обиду, конечно, ей. Так, кстати. Блин, может потом сегодня Красному принцу. Можно ли отдать это ему? Просто интересно. Так, точно землю тоже для крафта. Зелень невидимости оставим. Бочонок тоже мы оставим. Вот эту херню мы попробуем продать. Ну, в принципе, на этом, наверное, и закончим. Вообще драк не было, мы только бегали и разговаривали. Ладненько, спасибо, что смотрели. Увидимся.